All right, everyone. Welcome back to WTF Wednesdays with Laura and I. Shauna speaks. What now? Sister mine. Bing. Cheers to.
Cheers.
Let's get started. So,
There we go.
this is week 3 that we're getting this rolling here. And first, though, we owe an apology to
We do.
Chris Mahoney, whoever you are,
Maloney.
Maloney,
Yeah.
whoever you are.
Sorry,
so
Chris.
sorry. We were actually talking about Patrick Maloney, and so we said several things about Chris Maloney that weren't true.
That were not true.
I knew it didn't sound right because
He was not on Nicole.
yeah,
No, he wasn't. He hasn't been making the rounds.
yeah. So Chris,
Yeah.
not sure who you are. So sorry. If you're a
Sorry.
person out there and your name is Chris Maloney, not that we have a lot of people running around saying, "Hey, Sean and Laura,
Hey,
we're
we
talking
saw
about
you."
you guys."
Yeah,
no, probably not.
No.
But whoever you are, we do apologize
We
because
do.
we're actually talking about Patrick. So
we were.
having said that, there are two things I want to bring up that we talked about last week. And if you weren't listening, and which is fine, and you are listening today, I'll give you a little background. So,
Shame on you if you weren't listening.
and if you weren't, that's cool. But if you are today, welcome. Two things I brought up. One story was about a whistleblower, about Daniel Bareilles. And he was the man, he was the IT engineer who worked for the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, who is alleging with his lawyer that Doge came in there and spent a couple months into their systems. Now, just a reminder that the NLRB is a federal agency that definitely has very sensitive data, right? Like what do you call it? Employee files, witness testimony, unions, work, things of that sort.
Whistleblower names.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So he put out there that they were in there for months. They extracted a lot of data, so much so that it kind of sparked their system because it doesn't normally happen that way. They were told the employees were told to basically sit tight, give them what they're asking for, give them whatever access they want, and stay out of their way. So he brought this up because not only did that happen, they also then closed the accounts, and then right after that, there were about 20 attempts from out of the country into those accounts with the same username and password. So he brought that up. So I mentioned this last week when I heard about this story. So I just wanted to give you a little update on that. So as you can imagine, the right nuts is what I'll call them. The right nuts are saying that this was all fabricated to discredit Doge and what they're doing, trying to get rid of the waste in the government, blah, blah, blah. And the lefts are saying, make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Why is Doge in there? What are they trying to hide? Why is this a secret?
Why were they even there?
Why were they even there? What are they doing?
Where's the waste?
Right.
Yeah.
So what are we actually hiding here, right? And so I think in a normal administration, this would be a top story. This would be something in the headlines, like people would be jumping all over this. But because we are not in a normal administration, there is kind of nothing you can do about it because Congress is turning their head and the executive branch is sort of like a Russian asset.
Sort of?
Sure is, guys. I think. And so we'll just see where this goes. He's continuing to provide all the evidence and information, which he did initially as well, to facilitate an independent investigation. So more to come on that if we ever find out what the hell really happened here, because, every time we get around something, we just get another shiny object coming. So for us to look at. So that would be the case there. So that's the follow-up there. The other follow-up I want to do is on Social Security. So I brought up a story about the what's known as the DMF, which is the Death Master File. And that was about 6,000 predominantly Latino migrants having their names and Social Security numbers and marked as dead in the Death Master File. So just a reminder that if you are considered dead by the Social Security Office, you're pretty much fucked, guys. That's a what the fuck Wednesday, but
it is.
It's a severe consequences
It is.
financially, benefit termination,
Yep.
Medicare, delayed tax returns, if any, just financial hardships across the board, which again, like you say, the cruelty is the point.
It is.
It's a real big pain in the ass. Social Security is trying to fix that. They are saying, hey, we're trying to, but they have cuts as well. And so their staffing is not up to par. Thank you, administration. And
Doge.
Rep, thank you. And so they don't have a lot to work with, right, to get this information back in there. So basically what the Social Security office is saying is, hey, if you are erroneously labeled as deceased, that is dead for some of you who don't know what that means, should go to their local Social Security office with their ID. So let me just say this. Who the fuck doesn't want to do that? Like on a random Tuesday, Wednesday. You don't want to just go find your Social Security office and sit your ass in there and prove that you're alive and have to fight the fight that you're alive, because that's the fight, and it's going to be a big one.
And you need to bring everything.
I mean, my God, you should just be bringing your body and an ID, like, yay, this is me. But no, that's not how this works. It is such a shit show. And so this is a real problem. And so for more than 6,000 people, this is definitely a problem. So that's where we are there. They're trying to work it out, but who knows? That's going to take a while. So if you are considered dead, by all means, show up alive.
Yeah.
Show up alive,
that.
guys.
Yeah.
Right? You like that? All right.
I do like that.
Yeah, I do. So, but here's what I really want to bring this to. The move of this mayhem, this shit show of getting these 6,000 Latino migrants
Dead.
deceased was actually requested by none other than Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
That's just blowing my mind. When you told me that, I was just like, why?
Right, mindfuck.
Well, yeah, why?
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 Why? Because you're a horrible fucking person, Kristi. Kristi is a horrible person for several reasons.
Apparently.
You reminded me about the affair with Lewandowski. By the way, I forgot about that. But Corey Lewandowski is now like her ghost person. Like, he's the person who's going to her in this administration now, hanging out, going to all the meetings. He's the only other person that is with her at these meetings. He is like in her ear the whole time.
Oh.
And he has
Nothing like being independent, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's like, oh no, I've got some private work out there happening, but no, he's actually been reported to be at these meetings and such. So in this administration, so I found that is interesting. So yes, the move by Kristi Noem was implemented to put pressure on undocumented migrants to leave the country. That was her aim. So
But they're not necessarily undocumented, are they? Because they have a Social Security card,
they do.
which means that they can legally work.
That is usually what you need.
And if they can legally work, then they have a green card.
They can have a card to work. Yes, they can get a employment card. I forget exactly the right verbiage, but yes.
So there's nothing illegal about them. They're
So-
not undocumented. You can't be undocumented and have a Social Security card.
So let me just remind you
Yes.
that Kristi Noem
Yeah.
is the crazy bitch, former South Dakota governor who shot her puppy.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's right, she did.
She shot Cricket, guys.
Cricket. Oh my God,
was
how did
14
you kill
months
somebody who
old.
killed Cricket?
Because Cricket was, she got him to train him as a hunting dog.
Right.
But when he got a little loose and he attacked a neighbor's chickens and he nipped at her, she said, I hate this little mother. And she said, pow, pow, put him in a ditch. Okay, it was a story back then.
Yeah, it was a story.
Right?
It was a real story.
Yeah, it was a real story that she killed the puppy because she's a crazy bitch. And then she killed a goat too for the same reasons. And I'm going to just say what it says in quotes that she said, well, I hated them. So she killed them. Yep, she killed the puppy and the goat.
But what does a goat do to piss
I don't
you
work
off?
for PETA, the pet people and all that, because, in my past life I could have gone to pet hell too. If I didn't do things right.
We will not talk about that.
We won't.
We won't.
However,
I wasn't the best either.
I didn't pull a bullet in little Cricket's head.
No.
No. So she's a horrible person anyway. But, so the fact that she put this Social Security shit show in place, it's
Against people who were documented.
Yeah.
People who, this is their way of forcing you to self-deport. They want you to self-deport
Yeah, they want
because
you to
they're Nazis.
That's right.
Let's not ever forget that that's what these people are, okay? They're Nazis. And I'm sorry that if you support them and you haven't realized this yet, they're Nazis, okay? Which means that only pure blood is good enough. Okay?
There is no pure anything, guys. Do a 23andMe. Your asses ain't pure either. There's no pure. Everybody was dipping into something. There's no pure, guys.
No, there isn't.
Zippo.
No, there isn't.
Zippo. Zippo.
No. Nope.
So, Kristi Noem, that crazy nut, is in the news. Because if this couldn't happen to a better person.
Talk, girl. Talk. Tell us.
She was eating at the Capitol Burger in D.C.
Yep.
inside the Westin Hotel. And lo and behold, her purse got snatched. What was it, Thursday or Friday, I think?
Yeah.
Her purse got snatched. Really? Secret Service? Where were you guys? Where were you?
Where was the purse?
Where was the purse? The purse was hanging on a chair. Just like you would do at like freaking TGI Fridays, okay?
Not with money in it.
Yeah, $3,000. She had $3,000 in cash. So let me just say this though. The median American savings, clearly I'm not the median American, has about $8,000
Yeah.
in their savings. So she had almost half of that in her bag for Easter stuff. Because she's so sensitive, like Easter bunny stuff.
Yeah.
Easter stuff, and she was bringing her family out to dinner. She didn't notice her purse was stolen until the check came. But where was Secret Service? Because apparently there was a white man with a surgical mask that was seen possibly taking it, or they think he was in the area because there was a very similar incident not that long ago, either at the same place or close to the same place, and they're like, oh, they could be connected, even though one was a political person and one wasn't the political person. However, what was in that bag wasn't just her cash, so who cares? It was her personal documents, her passport, her license, her freaking DHS badge, guys. Her Department of Homeland Security. So, yes, I'm going to say what Jimmy Kimmel said. Hey, Jimmy. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed as the secretary of the freaking Homeland Security and got your goddamn purse snatched.
Yep.
Like, seriously? Seriously. Let me knock on something. I've never had my purse snatched. There ain't $3,000 in there either, guys.
No.
But I could be eating at the Capitol Burger too, and that wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just telling you that she's dumb as rocks. She's dumb as rocks. And that's where we are with Kristi Noem. Okay? She had her purse snatched. I want to know where the hell, who this white man is with the medical mask who did the deed, right? How did he escape with Secret Service, right? And the incompetence is ridiculous. So
I want to know who she was having dinner with.
her family.
Really? Because that's not what I was reading.
No, it says her family.
All right, but
It wasn't Corey.
I haven't read that she was with her family. Okay, so I want to know why Secret Service wasn't, on top of things. And I am not going to blame Secret Service for this because she's the one who tells them how basically she wants to be protected.
True.
So
they do. You're absolutely right about that. They do say they want this, they want that, they want to be left alone for this, blah blah blah.
So the other question is, why she even have a
Not that
pocketbook?
goddamn important anyway.
Why she have a purse? Because most protectees of the Secret Service do not carry a purse or a backpack or anything, because they don't.
That's right.
All right.
Secret Service carries their stuff, from my understanding.
Well,
I've
no,
never seen
Secret Service doesn't carry anything in their hands.
No,
They may,
but there are assistants. There are paid people
yes,
that carry their stuff, carry their phones, carry whatever.
They have people,
right.
basically. They have people, right, who do that.
She's a dipshit, guys. She's a dipshit.
Oh, I don't think this is as innocent as it looks.
No.
I don't think this is just like she's a dipshit. I don't think this is as innocent as it looks. I would love to see some real investigation into this. I know that it's reported that the Secret Service saw a white male wearing a mask leaving the restaurant with the purse. And yet the Secret Service hasn't found it. Secret Service.
We're about to have a visitor, guys.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that
Smokey the
is
cat.
in the building, and he doesn't like it because he's not getting my attention right now.
Yeah, so
he may show up if he
he's
does.
circling. He's circling.
Okay, back.
Yeah. So I don't.
You don't blame the Secret Service.
I don't blame the Secret Service. I blame her because I think that for whatever reason that she told them to give them space, whatever or whoever she was meeting with. And they
gave it to you.
And they gave it to her.
Now your money's gone. Not that $3,000 was a big deal because we're all carrying $3,000 around. What are you kidding me?
I don't understand
for lunch, girl. $3,000. Let's go get it.
I don't understand that. I have heard though that she also likes to carry cash because she doesn't like to use a credit card because you can track credit card payments.
Well, don't rent from Enterprise because you can't rent from Enterprise unless you have a credit card on you.
You can't rent from any car place unless you have a credit card.
Just saying.
Or the Secret Service is providing your transportation.
There's that.
There is that.
There is that.
Yeah, there is.
So I think you don't want to blame Secret Service, but I would like to just talk a little bit about Secret Service.
Okay.
And just talk about the fact that they, I think for the most part, pretty much do what they're supposed to. But when I think about Secret Service, I think of the botched, and I'm going to say botched bullshit. So if you know me.
You mean the fake.
If you know me, I love Kendrick Lamar. Love you. I'm not a real Drake fan. The turtlenecks, the big guy. Yeah, no, not my thing. Yeah. Kendrick, I am, though.
Canadian
so I'm going to, too Canadian. I'm going to quote Kendrick, and I'm going to say, miss me with your bullshit. Miss me with that bullshit. If you know the song, you know the song. Miss me with that bullshit. I think this whole thing is bullshit. Just like I think the attempted assassination of this shithead was bullshit. He didn't get shot. Somebody died.
Two people died.
Yep. Hate that for them. But you have to rally, whatever. Anyway. Not sorry. Anyway. When Ross.
Yep.
Your godson, my son.
Yep.
When Ross, my son, first of all, he lives in D.C., miles away, from the Capitol and all that. Beautiful rooftop. I've definitely done some video up there. It's a gorgeous rooftop. On, I think it was January 20th, right? The transfer of power.
It was inauguration.
It was inauguration day. He texted me. He was on the rooftop of his building with a lot of people up there just to watch Biden leave on the helicopter, which is like a historical moment.
Right.
Right? Let me tell you, they showed up there with AKs,
Secret Service.
Get the fuck off the roof. This is in his apartment building, way away from where this is all happening. And they showed up the hell over there. Their perimeter is wide, clearly, right? But here they are, their dumbasses in this little hick town over there where he was, Trump was almost assassinated, supposedly, saying things like this, hey, Laura, you, Secret Service, or cop, you, hey, you see that guy right there? That guy right there on the roof with the gun? Like him, he's about to shoot. Like that guy with the long arm. You see him? Yep. Yeah. So nothing happened. Bullshit. Oh my God. I know that there was an investigation going into this and Secret Service was called on the carpet or whatever. No, there was. I know that there was because even when Biden was, not Biden, when after all of this happened, there was a whole, I don't think it might have been on 60 Minutes that these congressmen and selectmen or whatever were in that town and they were researching this and they were like, yeah, we got a real problem here. This shit doesn't add up. This shit does not add up on at all. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't swept under the rug because, again, we got shiny things happening here, guys. Shiny things just happening. And we're on to the next. We're on to the next. And I think that's what really probably happened here. They're going to Ross's apartment building to get him off the roof. Really? All that ways from what's happening?
Because Joe Biden was
going to be in a helicopter way the hell over there.
Yeah.
But this guy who's sitting right here on the roof and you've got this guy talking and that's not... Come on, man. Cut the shit.
And the Secret Service said that the reasoning there was why they didn't have Secret Service on that roof is because they were leaving it to the local cops. But there were no local cops on that roof. Okay? And so the explanation was, well, a local cop went up to see because somebody was calling in saying there's somebody on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And so a local cop went up to see, well, why wasn't there a cop on that roof? If that was supposed to be their jurisdiction. Why not?
Right.
Okay. We don't know. You know what? We don't even know about the assassin. We know nothing about the alleged assassin. Nothing about him. Nothing. It got buried so fast.
So fast.
Okay. And let's also consider this. Now, okay, this may have Secret Service knocking on my door. But let's just consider this, okay?
Wouldn't be the first time, probably. Or close to it. Just saying.
Have you seen the trading card that Trump is selling that is now 50% off on Amazon because apparently it's not selling well?
This isn't the card that he tried to give a kid at Easter, is it?
Yes. He was showing the kids at this Easter roll, all right, on Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday, the Easter roll? Not sure. I don't think it was on Easter. I think it was on Saturday.
I think it's on the day before,
yeah.
probably.
All right. He is on film showing the kids the trading card. You know, the trading card when he's like, fight! And he's got, ketchup on his face. And
because there's an active shooter out there and he was trying to get on his big ass shoes on the stage and he was like, yeah, guys, come on.
He's like, fight!
This scary bitch. He knew, let me tell you, he wasn't scared because it wasn't nothing happening and he knew it.
So let's rewind the clock to the time where Trump was in a hangar, an airplane hangar with this big rally, okay? And there was some kind of backfire on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And that bitch, like, bent over and flew out there like somebody, he was a bitch.
Yep.
Okay? And now you're going to tell me he gets up, and if he really thought there was a shooter out there.
Yeah. They're out there.
He would not be standing up.
Headshots, guys.
No.
Headshots.
No. And the fact that the Secret Service did not force his head down to cover him up, they knew that there was no active shooter out there either. Okay? So whether they knew he was the person allegedly out there to shoot and had already killed people, was already dead, how would they know that? Well, they may have known that. That he was alright, but they didn't know if he had an accomplice. Because apparently they didn't know, right?
Right.
That wasn't their
They didn't
area.
know that was the guy that they were told that was the guy there. The one with the gun, that guy.
Yeah.
No, they didn't know that.
No, they didn't know that.
Miss me with that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, if you're going to talk about this, I would not have even thought about bringing this up today if he wasn't with that damn trading card because he's such a freaking con man, all right? And with that, it wasn't even blood, okay? And then he's wearing the Kotex on the ear, okay? Because that's what it was. And if you don't know what Kotex is, look it up, okay? And he was wearing that on the ear. And then the morons who were sitting in a rally they're all wearing their own little Kotex on the ear.
When we went to the PA club for the damn Portuguese feast, whatever they were doing, they were doing something at the PA club here on the island. And people were walking around with this thing on their ear, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
you cannot be serious.
Y'all
guys.
should be embarrassed.
Y'all should be
embarrassed.
Jesus
all right?
Christ,
He didn't like miraculously not die because he didn't get shot. You don't even have. I know y'all are too young for the Kennedy assassination. I don't know if y'all remember Reagan getting shot.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I do.
Right?
And thrown in that car. I remember it.
Okay. But there is no way on God's green earth, okay, that we don't have a medical report, all right, about injuries, about trajectories, about where the bullets came from, what kind, the person, and the whole shebang, all of it, all right?
Shiny object.
Okay, so there's no way that we don't know this, all right? So it was a con. The whole thing was a con, and it was to make him, I don't know, look strong, because you certainly had to pretend something, all right, to make him look strong, because we all know about his not so strong things. So it's just like, And the only reason, again, that I'm incensed about this all over again, and considering how, that it was a bit ago, because Amazon does have them on sale for 50% off. So apparently they're not selling very well, is because he's showing kids this card at the Easter egg roll. The one that was sponsored by Amazon and Meta. And what was the other one? It was Amazon, Meta.
I didn't even look at it. I did not even look at it.
And one other. Okay. Sponsored. I'm surprised they didn't have sponsorship signs up on the lawn.
I guess.
Okay. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. This is what our government has turned into. It's bad enough they do it with football. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they've got it all over the football field because, these places. And John Madden said that was going to happen back in the day. If y'all remember John Madden, and y'all play his game, so I know you remember him.
That's right.
Okay. He said that was going to happen. He said the advertisers were going to end up owning the fields and putting, signs in the end zone and everything else. Well, now they're doing it at the White House.
Oh, and you know what? You brought that up? Yeah. I forgot about this, and this wasn't even something I was going to bring up. But now that I'm thinking about it, after you said that, is that last night I heard that he was asked to do the commencement speech at the University of Alabama.
Yeah,
and there's another one. I don't remember what the other one is.
Yeah, it is.
But the Democrats,
West Point.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah.
West
Point? How can you not remember West Point?
West Point and the University of Alabama. And all I heard was that the Democrats, like the students at the University of Alabama, were like, yeah, no. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, he has ruined everything he's ever come around. We making this into politics, all of the things that he's done. The people that he's come and taken off this campus, like the students, and I mean, they were like freaking. First of all, in Alabama, but you know what?
They had the
they're not dumb people. Listen, people in Alabama and in the South, yes, their education is garbage, but the people who go to those universities are not from Alabama. No. They are there. They are sports people. They are there. They are. Come on now, guys. These are smart people. These are smart kids, and they're like, yeah, no. We will stand against this 1,000 times over. I cannot wait. Why in the fuck would you have the dumbest person in the room, as I always say, talking to students? This fucker, he knows nothing. His vocabulary, as I said the first time, is less than a janitor. We've got janitors out there probably with master's degrees, but you don't even have to have a goddamn degree to be smart, guys. So what the hell is happening? Like, they're like, this is a big fuck up here. Like, this is a short sight. I mean, this is horrible. So yeah, I'm sticking up for the University of Alabama. Roll Tide, blah blah. No, I'm a Michigan fan, guys. I'm a Big Ten girl. So, but what the hell? This is horrible.
I think Alabama
and West
voted
Point?
for him. Well, West Point is because he's the commander-in-chief. Bullshit. Like it or not, that's what he is.
Bullshit.
He's the commander-in-chief.
Miss me with that bullshit.
Okay. But Alabama had, I believe, the highest percentage of Trump voters. Well, of course,
Alabama did.
Of course,
not the students at the school.
Alabama had the highest percentage of Trump voters because they have the highest degree of voter suppression. Okay? If you want to see voter suppression, Jim Crow, the whole thing, live and in action, go down south, people. Go down south. It's a different country down there.
It really is.
It's a different country. It's not even. We're not even part of the same damn country. Okay.
And I do love the South, guys. Like I told you last week, Wellstar. Don't cut off my retirement.
I enjoyed the South. I enjoy going down there.
I love the South.
But I feel like I'm in a foreign country.
It is different.
I feel like I'm in a foreign country, and I'm not always comfortable.
Yeah, I wasn't always.
Yeah,
either.
I'm not always comfortable down there. So anyway, we kind of got off track a little bit.
What else is new? It's WTF Wednesday.
It is WTF Wednesday. We kind of got off track a little bit. We wanted to talk to you about ICE
kidnapping Americans. Is that what we want to talk about?
Yeah, we want to talk about kidnapping Americans. Okay. So, the Department of Homeland Security snatched up this kid, 19 years old, in Arizona.
Not the DHS again.
And they snatched up this kid, and 19 years old. Was it Hermosia? I know I'm pronouncing it incorrectly because it's I know I'm
Forgive her, all
Yeah.
my Latino folks
I
out
know.
there.
I know. I'm not supposed to pronounce the H and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I know, with a J. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, but that was the best I could do with it. All right, 19 years old. He lives in Albuquerque with his girlfriend and his child. Okay, he was visiting friends in Arizona. They say he was close to Nogales. All right. So, and he got picked up. He got picked up and he got put into ICE detention. And he's an American citizen. All right. Nobody bothered to find out if he was an American citizen, but he's an American citizen.
Right.
Okay. So his family actually had to try to find him because they didn't know where he was.
That's right.
All right. And they found him. They have a birth certificate. They have his social security card. It took 10 days to get this man released. This young man released. And do you know what they said? They said that it was his own fault.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they blamed him for
because
that.
he confessed.
Yeah.
He went to a border patrol on the border of Mexico. He went to a border patrol because this is what people do, because they're not afraid or anything. And he goes to them and he says, I'm here illegally. That's what they said. They said he confessed, all right, to being here illegally, which is why they arrested him.
Okay.
Do you believe it?
Miss
Or
me
not.
with that bullshit. Kendrick.
We got Kendrick the whole. I didn't know we were gonna
Miss
have
me with
Kendrick.
that bullshit.
I didn't know.
If I could play it and not get sued, like
Have
I'd
you heard
probably
the new
play
song
it.
he's got with SZA?
I hear all of Kendrick's
Oh
songs.
my
I have all of
God.
Kendrick's songs.
This
Like,
is
let's
like-
not do that.
No,
I like his collaborations.
I like this
They're
one.
great. Well, I like
this one with
listen,
SZA.
I like Kendrick.
I'm not a
before
big
Kendrick
fan.
was
Sorry,
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
No,
I'm
I
not a
am.
big fan.
I am because
'Cause
you
I'm
talk
not
that
that
real
young.
shit. You talk that real shit, Kendrick.
I'm not that young.
Euphoria. Ha! Every word in that song.
I am not that young.
My favorite. But go ahead.
No. So anyway, okay. So that happened in Arizona. All right. In Florida, all right. This is even more tragic in that I can't say it's more tragic because they both could have ended up in El Salvador. Okay. Both American citizens. So this I'll do better with this one's name. I promise.
ding, ding,
I know.
Let's try.
Juan Carlos Lopez Gomez.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
Hey,
Juan,
I
it's
didn't say
probably
Gomes.
Juan.
Yeah.
Juan.
It was, yeah, well, whatever.
Juan.
All right, so anyway, he's a kid. He's also a kid, all right? U.S. born. He lives in Georgia, all right? But he crossed the Florida border.
Border.
Oh,
get
he
the
went from
fuck outta
Georgia to Florida
Oh
now.
my God! Now
Juan
there's borders.
DeSantis, the head Nazi in Florida.
Haven't heard his name in a long time.
Yeah, he passed a law in Florida that says if you are an undocumented immigrant and you have the bad luck, because honestly, anyone who willingly goes into Florida is insane. The bad luck to find yourself in Florida, it is going to be considered a crime. And that any cop off the street can arrest you. Which means that in Florida, anybody can walk up to you and say, "Can I see your papers?"
Oh, so all you spring breakers out there?
All right. Well, you know, spring breakers don't have shit for brains. So,
It's not nice. They're college kids. They're high school kids.
Yes, I
That's
know.
not their fault. Hey, yeah.
I know. Young men supported Trump a lot. There was a high degree of support among young men because of the bros they follow. All right, like Joe Rogan. Yep.
Christ.
And people like that.
Yeah.
And so, and Charlemagne in the beginning. I know, but Charlemagne
I don't
in the
always
beginning.
agree, Charlemagne. I don't.
Charlemagne in the beginning.
Always agree with you.
You-
But you do have some shit to say, and I'm here
Yeah,
for it.
you made up for it. You did. And I've been watching you on the daily, and you've been making up for it. So, but,
Yep.
you know, for a while there, you were not strong enough. All right? And you gave people an out. You know?
Yep.
And your word goes very far.
Yep. People are listening
And
to
you
you,
have a
Charlene.
responsibility whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Okay? And don't
does.
pull that Charles Barkley shit and say, I shouldn't be anybody's, what did he say? Role model. I shouldn't be anybody's role model. I'm a basketball player. Well, you know
Well,
what?
that's true, Charles, and you are from Alabama, isn't he? But
I think
here's
he
the
is.
thing about Charles, though, right? Love you, Charles. Watch TNT.
I-
you know I'm a big TNT. Listen, TNT. I am
love
here
you
for
now.
it.
I didn't like you when you
I
played.
watch it.
though.
I watch it all the time. Loved you when you played. We're not the same in that space. However, I watch you all the time. But yo, the suits on tip off, I can't take it. I'm just gonna go there. And the shoes, I can't. Shaq, Kenny, getting his ass about them suits and them shoes. I don't have the time to get on there and tweet real quick while you're on there watching it. But
Yeah.
I'm like so not happy with your suit choice.
Someone needs
and
to
your
dress
shoes.
you.
Your shoes, your shoe game. You know I'm about the shoes, Charles. God
Yeah,
damn,
no.
what happening? Kenny, tell him on
know.
tip off.
He's
Okay.
not alone, though. He's not alone in his bad choices.
Oh my God,
He's
the
not
shoes.
alone.
Okay.
So anyway, so you do have a following. These guys have a following.
Yes.
Getting back to what happened to this poor guy, Gomez in Florida, he crosses the border in a car with 3 other guys. They were going to work, all right, and apparently the driver was going very fast, 78 in a 60-mile-per-hour zone, whatever. Gets pulled over, and in Florida, they get to say, "Can I see your papers?" Because this guy was just a passenger, all right. So, and he doesn't speak very good English at all. He's an American citizen. He was born here.
That's fine.
He grew up in Mexico. His first language is Mayan. All right. Very old school.
Very old school.
Very old school.
That's very old school.
So his he hasn't been full time in the United States for very long. His English isn't that good. So they arrested him, took him in, ICE detained him, and they asked him if he was here illegal, and he said yes, I am illegal. And considering his English, you should have had an interpreter, and I know you didn't.
My husband's from Memphis, and you know how many times he said illegal instead of legal? Lots of times.
And he needs an interpreter too.
Sometimes. So do I.
There are some people who don't speak Memphis.
Okay, and some that don't speak Boston.
That's true.
But yeah, that's bullshit. Again, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at numbers, and it says that as of April 6th, ICE has held 47,928 people in detention. That's not talking about the number of people they arrested. 47,928. That was as of April 6th. So that's, here we are on the 23rd, right? So several more. But I also read that indigenous people have been told to keep their certificate of degree of Indian blood.
Yes.
And other identification.
Any kind of identification.
On them. Because if they get pulled over, they're going to need that.
Yep.
I actually don't think ICE gives a shit, and I don't think they're asking for papers. I think they're like, yeah, we're gonna bust through the window with a hatchet like they did in New Bedford and grab your ass out of here.
Well,
they're gonna arrest you, and then they're gonna talk
people
later.
Who are showing papers are being and they're knocking their papers away.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to see it. You know why? Because they have a quota.
That's right.
All right. So it's just like if you go to a town who has a quota for tickets.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Yes,
Right.
you get pulled over, and you
you
always
get pulled
look
over.
like, what time of the month is it? Is it the end of the month?
Do they have to make up?
Do they gotta make up
Yeah.
how many people you gotta pull over before the 30th to make your quota? Oh yeah, it's a real deal. It's a real thing.
I've been listening to the scanner because I listen to the scanner every night. The amount of people being pulled over here on this island is insane.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So it could be just because the weather's warm and they're bored. It could be that. All right. It could be that we have a very high Brazilian population here and Jamaican, and it could be that as well.
Well, people are scared. I will tell you
Yep.
that working in the school department, kids are scared, parents are scared, not sending their kids to school. That's been
Right.
going on for a while now. And there's all kind of information at the front desk for students. The Brazilian population, like you said, is huge here.
Yep.
And
It
so they are being sent home with information, told that they'll be protected as long as they're on school property, things of that sort. Like it's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. It's horrible for these kids. It's horrible for their parents. Who I've had a kid say to me, my parents didn't go to work today because they're afraid that they're gonna get picked up, and if I do, I gotta go live with my grandma. Like it's all
it's awful.
It's horrible that these kids
Yep.
are dealing with this stuff.
So this kid, right, who got picked up in Florida on this ridiculous law, his mother shows up with his birth certificate and his social security card in court, and the judge tells the mother that I believe you, and I believe that this is authentic, but there's nothing I can do because, the prosecutor told the judge that the judge didn't have a right to release him because ICE had a hold on him with the sheriff's department in Florida for 48 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So the judge couldn't even release him. And I'm like, okay, that's some kind of legal bullshit. I don't understand that at all. At all.
So the courts aren't having any power here.
All right. So, they don't have any power in Florida. Florida is a hellhole. Florida is its own third world country in our third world country. That's how bad it is.
After Texas.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Florida might be worse.
Florida might be getting worse.
I think Florida is worse. I really do.
Texas is
horrible. And let me tell you, I've been to Florida a few times, and I've been to Disney with my sister, with my family, with my kids. I've been to Universal. I've been, SeaWorld. I've done the whole thing. And thank God I did it before DeSantis ever even breathed on Florida, because I haven't been back since.
No, because we went after Dad died, and we went, what was that, 2002 or 2003? And we went and brought the kids to Disney for the whole week or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the first and last time you'll be here with me. Because next time you come, you'll bring your own kids, because I'm not trying to come back here.
No.
I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan.
No, it's really not. And now, and I know that they're trying to cover it up and they're trying to hide it, but the anti-Semitism down there is ridiculous, and the local neo-Nazis like to do these little protests in front of synagogues and in front of Disney. Okay? And I'll tell you something else that is atrocious about all of this. That we have become such a horrific third world country with all of this, okay? And the fact that DeSantis has gotten away with what he has down in Florida, the fact that our government did not make sure that Trump could not run for office because he is a convicted felon, all right? He is a convicted felon on 34 counts. Now, let me ask you a question. This poor kid in Florida who a judge said, I'm sorry, I know y'all legal. I know that there's nothing I can do because the federal government basically has you on hold for 48 hours. After 48 hours, his mother was in court crying with his paperwork, trying to get him out, right? He ended up, I believe, in Georgia, they transferred him back to Georgia. She showed the papers in Georgia, and Georgia let him go. Okay?
See, Georgia, I be sticking up
Florida
for you guys.
didn't let him go.
I be sticking up for you.
Georgia let him go.
I stick up for you.
Okay, Georgia let him go. So, that is the information I have. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know I'm wrong.
And you will, because that's what y'all do.
But no, I appreciate it.
That is the feedback we need.
No, I need to know if I'm wrong. That's what I'm reading. But if I'm wrong, please make sure I know I'm wrong. Or give me your opinion. I'll let you know if I'm wrong. Because I still am me. Anyway.
And she will.
This is just leading into, we're being tested, people. We're being tested, okay? So they keep doing these little test bombs, all right? They're rounding up Puerto Ricans because they're so freaking stupid. They don't understand Puerto Ricans are United States citizens. They were doing that in New Jersey. And they're saying they should be following some kind of database, right? Wouldn't you think they would have a database?
Why else? How else are you doing this?
To go after people
How
that
else are you doing
are
this?
supposed to be illegal criminals,
Yeah.
because those are people you're supposed to be picking up.
Right.
All right, and yet there's in New York. Okay, I was just reading about this kid in New York. He was in front of his house, and ICE showed up and snatched him, and they said, no, not him. He's the wrong one. His name is I'm gonna screw up the name again. Okay, Gutierrez. His last name is Gutierrez. All right.
That might not be right.
I think it is. I think it's right.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's right. I
No
mean,
fala, no habla, no comprende.
Yeah,
no
no,
nada.
I
I'm not your
know.
person to tell you, but yeah, Gutierrez.
well,
and
that's the name right there. How would you pronounce that?
Merwell, yeah. Gutierrez, Gutierrez. I have no idea.
See? There you go. All right.
I don't know.
So, another 19-year-old. It seems they have a target. Okay, they have a target. They're young men.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and they have a tan, and they all have a tan. Okay, lighter tan, darker tan, but it's a tan because I don't see any Russians getting swept up into this. You know, or Croatians, or those people are not getting swept up into this.
Nope.
I didn't hear anything about an Irish or
No white people are gonna get.
No white people are getting swept up into this.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
so
Never that.
this kid, okay, was in front of his house, and they grabbed him, and they realized, they said, "Oh, this is the wrong kid." The person in charge said, "Take him anyway."
Right, because you can't show up and not have something happen.
All right,
You can't just show up and say, "Oh shit, wrong guy." No. We're just gonna take him anyway. We're here. We might as well take somebody.
Right.
Oh, you light skin. You come with me.
Yeah. So this kid, he's from Venezuela. All right, and I don't want to hear one freaking person say that these people are being deported, because they're not being deported. Okay, when you're deported, you're sent back to your own country where you came from.
That's not what's happening.
That is not what's happening. They're being sold into freaking slavery to El Salvador. All right, that's what they are being sold.
Look at the video
All
of
right.
Christy Nome standing in front of the concentration camp, which is what the fuck it is.
All right,
In front of them with all them behind her, like, we're coming for you.
can you see this?
We're
picture?
coming for you. Oh, is that the picture?
See this? It's not her.
Oh, but
All
that's
right.
what they. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it looks like. That's what it looks like. That's where they're sending them.
Yep.
All right. This kid, his father, went looking for him, right? Because it happened right in front of his house. By the time he got to this kid, they had already shipped him out to El Salvador. He's gone. He's gone. None of these people are coming back unless we take power and buy them back from Bukele. Let me just tell you, we're not going to get these people back.
You said buy?
Buy them. We're going to have to buy them back.
Like cash?
Cash. All right? Maybe we can ask Christy if she got some money.
Ah, Christy Nome. Ah, they took your money,
Yeah.
girl. You got some cash?
We may have to
bring them back?
Hey, she might pay her, try to buy her way out of prison where she belongs. Okay, so we're gonna have to. I'm telling you right now. Once we get these people, sweep these people up, because they have to be swept up. This is evil, coast to coast, people. Evil. This is evil. All right. We are gonna have to buy these people back, because Bukele is not going to give them back. He's not. Trump paid him
sure did.
to take them, and then
Sure
he
did.
told them he needed to build more prisons.
Yep.
All right, because Trump wants to send American citizens
Yep.
to foreign prisons.
Yep.
Which is illegal, by the way. You cannot send Americans to a foreign prison. But if you want full authoritarian power and want to cow an entire country, then you stop picking up Americans and you stop picking up your political adversaries.
Oh, God, yeah.
You stop picking up reporters.
Yep.
You stop picking up, I don't know, maybe the guy who runs 60 Minutes and wouldn't bend the knee to you, so they ended up getting rid of him
You're right.
because CBS the owner of CBS is trying to sell. And they need approval from Trump to sell. Oh,
Why?
yes. I found
Why?
Because it has to do with all this FCC crap.
What?
All right. Yeah. It's very complicated. All right. So, I was reading about it today, and now I understand why CBS has decided to bend the knee. Because the previous owner died and left it to his daughter, and she wants to sell. She can't sell because whoever buys it is going to need approval from the government.
Wow.
Okay, and so 60 Minutes refused to apologize, refused to bend the knee, refused to admit something they didn't do. All right, which doesn't matter to these people whether you did it or not. What matters is they said you did it, and you must apologize. So
narcissists are always asking for apologies, by the way.
That they don't deserve.
That's one of the top 5.
Yeah.
How do you know you're a narcissist?
How many times have you asked for an apology?
Right. Because you deserve it.
Yeah. So the bottom line with this is that maybe he gets swept up and sent to a prison out of the country, a political prison, because this dictator in office wants to be a full-fledged dictator, because the only way he's going to stay in office is to completely destroy this country's government. And now, even the Supreme Court is starting to get nervous about what they did, because he's defying the court.
Yeah.
He's defying the court. He won't bring Garcia back.
They're supposed to do something right while we're talking right now, as a matter of fact, within the hour, or something that he had an hour or something to do. So that'll be interesting when we're done to go back and look.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting.
Because it looks like we're like in like the United States of fascist America.
Oh, we definitely are.
That's really where we are, guys.
Yeah,
that is definitely really where we are.
So that's why we're in a lot of trouble with this, with Americans getting swept up, with people who have done nothing wrong getting swept up, with these death lists from Social Security, because if they can do it to them, they can do it to us, right?
That's right.
How many of us can be blanked out by someone just going in, you know what? Let's get rid of them. Let's make them dead in Social Security.
You want to make something dead? Make my car loan dead, all right? 'Cause I'm sick of that Cadillac. Make my car loan dead, okay? If you want to kill something, kill my loans. Shit. That's what you can do,
Yeah,
guys.
that too.
You can do that, guys.
Yeah.
But it's just...
It's awful.
hard. So
it's just awful. What the problem is, is that we're in a really, really bad place, all right? And we need to continue to fight back hard. We have to fight back hard, all right? And so when there's a call to action, our asses need to be out there, all right?
That's right. And so now that the protests seem to be getting some mainstream media
because they're getting bigger
coverage,
right?
Yep. You can watch Rachel, and Rachel will tell you every night, like she'll show you every town, every city, what the hell's happening. People are fighting back, right? You got Harvard suing the administration over they're fighting back. You've got the lawyers still fighting back.
Yep.
You've got 220 college leaders signing paperwork to stand by Harvard and saying, yeah, we're rebuking this bullshit with
to
your
fight
overreach.
Together.
Yep, they've got to do it. I mean, people are really bullshit. When I look at all these protests and everything that's happening, I say, wow, how many of those people actually voted for Trump? That's what I really want to know, because I think it's bullshit that I call bullshit again that the people that they say voted for them, because there are so many millions of people that are upset. I can't imagine, but we don't know what people have done. But the at least the mainstream media is starting to pick up on some of these protests that are happening on a daily basis. So that being said, the call to action really is the next day is May 1st. The 5051, so 50501 movement.
Excuse me.
Next day of action is May 1st, which is a Thursday, which is not
Which is
usually
funny.
the case.
Yeah.
It's not usually
That's
a weekend.
funny.
They are doing it on a Thursday.
We're gonna have to
so
leave
we'll
work,
see.
people.
Yep. That's the national day. That's the next national day of action. And the topic of that day the theme of that day is stop the billionaire takeover.
Yeah.
And so that's what you'll see a lot of out there. So the 50-51 movement, if you don't know, is they started it with 50 protests in 50 states in one day. Yeah. So if every state had one protest in that state for one day, that was the 50-51. Right. However, what's happening now is they're having hundreds of protests in a state. Yeah. So it isn't just one state having a protest. They're like, that state is having like 10, 12 protests in all their cities. And counties and stuff. So it's just going and going in places you've never heard of. If you peep in on Rachel Maddow, she'll tell you, she'll show you. It's mind blowing what's really happening out there. So that is the next National Day of Action, which is May 1st, which is on a Thursday. And you can go to www.5050.1. So it's FIFTY. .10 ONE for details on that movement. If you want to jump on that, I've definitely jumped on that. It's we got to get out there. We got to figure it out. Whatever it is that you're out there doing, and feel free to leave us something that just says, hey, can you talk about this? Do you want to jump on this? Because right now I'm sort of just posting this stuff on Facebook, and I've got a YouTube channel, and I'm going to get it out there. But if you're seeing it and you want to talk about something, we do read your comments, and as we talk more and more, and we appreciate it because we just have shit to say. However that is, however you see it, if you're listening, that's great. Just want people to know what's going on because sometimes it is just too damn overwhelming, right? Yeah. And it's again, while we're talking, there's probably 10 other shiny objects freaking running around.
It's hard to focus.
It's hard to keep track. So
it is.
All I can say to that is it's another WTF Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
And here we are. Anything else you'd like to add?
Call your congresspeople. Call your senators. Tell them that they need to stop all of this foolishness going on in with funding. Okay? The SAVE Act has got to be stopped in the Senate. All right? It has to be stopped. That is the voter suppression law to stop women from voting, basically. Okay? Pay attention because this entire movement, all right, is about suppressing us. About suppressing women, all right? Because if women had stuck together in the last election, okay, I know. If women had stuck together in the last election, we would have a woman as head of this country, and we wouldn't have any of these problems. We wouldn't have the stock market freaking crashing. We wouldn't have China pissed off at us. We wouldn't be worried about prices going up on everything. My 401k would be in a hell of a lot better shape than it is right now. Yeah. And I'm worried about retiring in a couple of years because I don't know if I can wait around long enough for a new regime for a new government to come in. And
you said regime.
I did say regime. Yeah.
Is that a slip?
I know,
slip.
Right?
Oy.
For a new government to come in so I can get my money back.
Yeah.
That's how crazy this is, okay?
Yep.
So we need to be proactive. Do not sit on your ass and say, gee, I hope someone's going to come to rescue us. Because it's not going to happen. We have to rescue us. We have to fight back. We have to show up. We have to make sure our representatives know how pissed off we are. We have to make sure that we're calling them and emailing them. You don't have to yell at them. You don't have to be just nasty about it. You just have to be forceful and say, if you can't do the job, then we will find someone who can. Okay? And everyone can be mad at David Hogg for what he said, all right, about Democrats who are not being active and helping us.
You jokers work for us. You know that, right?
Right. All right. and that they could be primaried. Well, he's not wrong. I know he's young and he's brash and everything else.
No, but he's got a right to be young, and I mean he's young, but I mean he has a
He's
right to
not
be brash.
wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
You don't
Y'all
have
just
to
don't
like
want to
it.
hear it.
He's been through some shit. Y'all need to pay
Yeah,
attention.
okay.
He knows what the hell he's talking about.
You know, in that respect, and I heard over the weekend, I heard, you know, old school, like Donna Brazil and all these people, old school talking about like he needs to be quiet, and Simone,
no,
all right,
no,
and
no,
saying like,
no,
you know, if
no.
you're ahead of the blah blah blah,
No.
shut up.
No.
Okay, is your opinion was when we needed it back in the day, you know, when Joe Biden was young,
Yeah.
when you know that was your day.
Yeah.
We are no longer living in that kind of country, people.
Nope.
All right, we are living in a new frontier that I don't freaking like, and we're here, and we need to fight our way out. And y'all need to either lead or get the hell out of the way.
I think we end on that. Lead or get the hell out of the way, right?
Cheers.
What the fuck Wednesdays, guys?
There you go.
Deuces. Bye.